Hello, I'm Latrina Hall. I'm the P16 Initiative Coordinator in the Service Learning Academy. And I wanted to take a moment to share about how you can use the theory of synectics to implement service learning. I have naturally applied synectics in the many different experiences I've had in higher education, in the nonprofit world, and even in secondary education as a teacher. I've used it to make connections and build relationships. So what is synectics? It comes from the Greek word synectikos, which means bring different irrelevant elements into unified connection. The central idea of synectics is that you tap into both the conscious and subconscious minds to create connections that might, with a purely rational approach, be overlooked. It's a way to create parallels between unrelated ideas using analogies or situational context, especially with students, to help them learn and internalize information. It's an important component in how I work with students because sometimes students may not see value in something until you make it meaningful to them by drawing parallels to what you know they already know and value. So if you can tell by this slide, it's just so wild, it just might work. And that's the idea that if you get students to really think outside of the box, put themselves outside of themselves, challenge their beliefs, brainstorm, using the idea that the sky is the limit, you'll be able to get them to that exponential thinking and come up with breakthrough solutions or come up with a deeper understanding of the concept you're trying to get them to understand. So how have I used the theory of synectics? Well, I've used it in two key ways: employing to impart knowledge and also using it to understand new information. So personally and professionally, in many different ways, I have been able to apply the theory of synectics to make connections, build relationships, when teaching, learning, conceptualizing for students. It's a great way to help them build a bridge to what they already know, to people, communities, or concepts that you're trying to get them to understand. So if you check out the two charts on the screen, you'll see a KWL chart, which I've used many times as a teacher, and then you'll see a chart used to synthesize when applying the theory of synectics. And you'll see that both allow you to activate prior knowledge, make material meaningful, build a bridge to what you want students to learn, and facilitate deeper level thinking for creativity or empathy. When you're preparing for a service learning project, you're preparing students to go out into a community, or you're preparing them to understand a concept like poverty or redlining that you want them to be able to understand from different perspectives. This is a great way to use synectics to help them make those connections. So why use synectics? For me, it has been a great benefit. It has been a way that I can help my students or other folks that I'm working with think outside of the box, do what they may have never done before, learn to value others, embrace and celebrate new cultures, new concepts that may be new to them. And it's another way, if you really think about it, to prepare our students as we're preparing them to be 21st century thinkers. It's a way to help them to see who's not at the table or what's not at the table. So as we're preparing them to be communicators, collaborators, innovators, we're helping them to think outside of the box about who do we need to bring in, what diversity do we need to include in the work that we're doing, who should we make sure is part of our programming, our planning, service, the work that we're doing. So synectics is a great way to do that.